In this tutorial, you will learn how to use the library's OneSearch database to locate scholarly peer-reviewed articles on your research topic. Now we're starting on the library's homepage, and by default, the search box here that's kind of front and center is looking in the OneSearch database. You can see it's kind of a different color and there's a little arrow highlighting OneSearch. And we can get started just by entering some keywords in the box. So I've entered texting, and if you notice, I do want to point out that there's also this option for peer-reviewed. And if I go ahead and check this box right now, I'm only going to see peer-reviewed articles in my results. But I'm going to kind of leave it on its default settings so you can see what it looks like with different sources mixed in. And if we just click the magnifying glass or hit enter on your keyboard, it's going to take us into OneSearch and you can see the results. Now, if you're doing this from home, before it shows your results, it will just ask you to log in with your student ID and password, but the databases do work from off campus. And now we're seeing all of the items that it found that have something to do with texting, more than 89,000 items. You can see the number here at the top. Now notice the first thing that's showing here is a research starter on texting. I like to think of these as like a fancy Wikipedia article. They're sort of an overview of your topic. They usually come from an encyclopedia, and they're nice for getting some definitions and kind of beginning your research, but they're not actually a scholarly item. It will disappear if we narrow our results down to peer-reviewed articles. And then everything that's here in the middle are the different items that it found on this topic. A little icon here lets you know what type of source it is. So this is actually a video recording that has to do with texting while driving. The second item is an ebook, so a book that you can read online. And the third item is an academic journal article. So by default, you'll find that there's different types of sources mixed together in OneSearch. And if we look over on the left, everything that's on the left side of the database are ways that you can narrow down your items to be a little bit more specific to what you need, including an area for source types. And this is where you can control which types of sources are showing on your results. There's an option for news, magazines, academic journals. You can click on Show More to see all of the other types of items it found, including some books. Or there's also an option toward the top under Limit To that says Scholarly Peer-Reviewed Journals. This is my favorite option for kind of narrowing down my results to just peer-reviewed articles. And it does the exact same thing as that peer-reviewed box that we saw on the home page. So I'm just going to choose this Scholarly Peer-Reviewed Journals. And it's going to update my results to only show me the scholarly peer-reviewed articles that have something to do with texting. So I was actually interested in articles that had to do with texting and driving, so we can add additional keywords. Texting and driving, and I'm going to do adolescence. And then we can hit search. And it's just going to narrow our results quite a bit because I added 2 keywords, and now I'm down to only 148 scholarly articles about texting and driving and adolescence. We can also use this publication date option on the left to control when the articles that are showing on my results were published. Right now it's telling me that it's finding articles between 2010 and 2018, which is pretty good. It's not going too far back, too old, but I could change this year on the left if I wanted to make them even more current. Or I could use the little slider and drag it forward. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and just click on this first article on my results list. And if you click on a title, it's going to take you to a list of, or a page that gives you more information about this article, with the title here at the top, all of the authors underneath, and this source line kind of tells you where it was published, the name of the journal, the year it came out, 2015, and this is a lot of the information you need for your citation. And then down the page a little bit, this abstract is a summary of the article. You can read this to get a nice overview of what this article is about and decide if you'd actually like to read the full article. Now, this is a summary. This page is summarizing the article, and if I actually want to find the article and read the whole thing, I'm going to look over here on the left, and this PDF full text link is what will actually open this article for me to read online. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and it's going to open up a little PDF viewer in my browser. And now I found the article. So this is just a electronic version of this article in PDF format. There's a little toolbar up here at the top that allows me to download the article, print it off if I'd like a hard copy. But this looks very similar to what we saw in our reading, kind of a nice overview of what this article, the abstract is a nice overview of the article, but you can read the whole thing online from here. If we kind of scroll through, this looks very standard for a scholarly article, including the methods section right here that tells you how the research was done, and a bunch of charts that show the data they collected. So very standard for a scholarly article. Now if we go back on this previous page that was about the article, there are several tools over here on the right that are very important. The one I definitely want to make sure that you know how to find is this Cite button. If we click on Cite in the tools on the right side, it's going to pop up with a bunch of different citation styles for this article, including APA. And if we scroll down a little bit, here's the citation in MLA style. So the Cite button over here on the right will make the citation for you, and you can copy and paste that into your assignment. Just always make sure you proofread these because they're not always completely accurate. It's the computer is making it for you, and it sometimes makes mistakes. But it definitely will save you a lot of time and get you started. The other tool I use over on the right a lot is this email option. It's just a way to save the article where you can click on email and enter in your own email address, and it will send it to you with the PDF attached. But those are the basics of using the OneSearch database to locate a peer-reviewed article on your topic, including the PDF that allows you to read the article online.